Hello world! Wave Time here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now right now I am currently making quite a few of those bundled cables so that I'll be able to hopefully better, make my wirings. And I noticed something in my code. I forgot that I didn't have any black stuff at all. Yeah, that kind of sounds racist. I don't have any black dyes, thus I cannot make any of the gray wires. Therefore, I'm going to have to slightly alter the code that I have currently. What I can do though is make the blue and the purple wires, so I can thus start and change it slightly and it should still work. So I got some more bundled cables for which we can work with, and therefore let's start. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted the break to be these two wires, but the cyan is actually now going to be the moving in the right direction. So we're going to just have to keep it that way. So first we'll have the purple and the blue. I believe let's have the purple wire for the place, so it'll activate both of the deployers. So we'll have to get this going a bit. Get it on. And that kind of sounds creepy now that I am saying it out loud. Okay, moving forward, I guess we'll just have to go with purple explosion and be very horrible, horrendous, and otherwise with all of our bundled cables, putting them there instead. Now we'll have blue wire as our sane one, and obviously we are going to need to get more wires anyway, so let's just craft some more purple and blue wires and then continue with our setup. Oops. That was not exactly what I was planning to do. What I'm planning to do is get a heck of a lot of frames because we're going to need to load up our deployers eventually, and we should start with 60 since it does jam up if you put too many of one type. I might replace some of the stuff with chests, but anyways, we got our blue wire's connected, our purple wire is connected, and we got our bundled atrocities right here. Now, the thing we're going to need to do is, because this thing attaches with a load of different movements, and because we have basically a long range of motions, we're going to have to change, or basically going to have wires everywhere. So we're going to have some jacketed bundled cables going for this entire thing, and we have to be conscious of how it's going to be moving. So we have to have something that's continually connected for every single movement. So we have to, I'm saying have to have so many times, it's kind of, nulling, being null or void or stuff like that. What would probably need to do is expand that out by 1, and we might be able to wrap a wire around constantly, or we could just have something that is like on the side, then is dragged out, but then it won't go out with it. Let's see. I remember how I did it was that I had a wire, jacketed wire, in fact, come up from the ground. And let's just use our remaining panels right now and make a bunch of jacketed wires so I don't look like a bumbling idiot. Just a normal idiot will suffice for this episode, so let's not be too imaginative. And there we go. So 6... like this. Now we'll want something to track around it, so we'll have that. And let's just have it so that it'll go straight into the ground. And this is going to eventually go straight into the ground, so that actually works out. So this will stay stationary. No, it won't. Okay. And that won't work either. Okay, the only semi-obvious thing I see right now is pretty much this. So I'll just cut this a bit so that we have some extra panels for us to work with, and then we'll just do a bit of alterations. Now the only thing that will make this thing work is if we change these so that they are panels, and instead of having a panel there, right here I mean, instead of having a panel there, we'll have a cover. So the cover will mean this will not connect at all, but the panels will mean that these will stay connected. Now that's not going to work. This is too much of a hassle, don't you think? So we're going to have another jacketed thing over there to have it connected. And this will work, so even if it moves over, it will remain connected. Hey, look, I can fly, and that doesn't seem to connect at all. So we're going to have one of these, and making pretty much a patchwork solution. You know, I don't really like it. And if it goes over, will it connect? It'll stay connected. Okay, even if it goes over, it will stay connected. So we're just going to have to live with this solution for now, see if we can alter it in the future to make it a bit more aesthetically pleasing, though we're not working too much on the aesthetics right now, so we just have to, well, live with it. Okay, 4 of these so that we can continue on with our creations, and that's 3, not 4, is it? Derp, derp, derp. 1, and there we go. So now, this will actually go down, and down, over there. And then we can have this attaching down and have both of these wires connected. Now they are on the same bundled cabled network. All that we'll really need to do is bring it down underneath this system so that we can bring it to some sort of computer that will be either in this wall or we can have it in a different hall entirely. What we should focus on, though, is get it to like some sort of... Let's construct a computer room. I'm thinking something that will keep this wall pretty much as it is, so we can keep and see how it is, but I think we should have a few things. Like, for instance, a door coming out of this way. Maybe if we are really up to it, we can make it a piston door, though I am not well versed in pistons. You can say that again. We can make it a frame door. Actually, a frame door might make more sense. So when this, we can have it like some sort of variable that when this system is active, it will actually... Why didn't I just right click? It will actually close the door, meaning no one can get in at all. So just have a simple frame that goes up, up, up. And we can just see the motor. It doesn't really matter too much. Like a motor here. Frame brings it up, and then probably we'll want an emergency shut-off switch, though I'm pulling a lot of stuff out of my derriere right now. You didn't know I was French. Well, I'm Canadian, so I'm partially French, but not the French that matters. Why do I even bother? Anyways, I'll try to construct a room and see if I can make any sort of architecture just pull out or something. In fact, I could probably just... Yeah, let's go with our original plan. Okay, I'm thinking that this is a nice little hollow point for which we can work with in the future. We don't really need to do too many alterations. We'll need to eventually get a good door. In fact, we can probably put this here instead, but I'm not really too committal on how it'll go. Ooh, maybe that will work. Sorry, idea. I can't help it sometimes. Anyways, we got our red alchemy bag, so we can just simply place some of the items that we will be using. Let's try not to put the alchemy bag inside of the alchemy bag. So to start off with, I think we should put the central processing unit, which will be accessed through this breaking of the door. And then we'll have a back pane and a RAM module right there. And peeking through, we'll just have a simple little monitor that will help. And let's just boot it up so that we won't have to worry about it afterwards. Hee, you cannot see me. I is invisible. I'm thinking that this will be a good observation point so that we'll be able to see every single item without having to actually go out and do some of the menial work. Anyways, what we're going to also need, let's just rip some of this stuff out, is we'll need to have a disk drive. So let's get our alchemy bag again, get an IO expander since we'll need that too, and our disk drive. So disk drive, IO expander, which we'll put this way, and obviously this does not have anything for it to boot with, which might be a bit of a difficulty. Maybe we can have some sort of frame motor to bring it up and down so you can't see it, but I'm thinking a little too much on that, getting a little carried away. So do I have that disk? Okay, let's just type in a disk. Fourth disk, checking for fourth disk. We do not have a fourth disk, folks. It's probably in some sort of random chest. So let's get that off and we'll focus on the fourth disk at a later time. In the meantime, we're going to need to put a few things down. For instance, we'll need to get this wire sorted out so it's coming in through this way, I'd say, and we'll have it go underneath. Ooh, copper. And it will go under, and it will go this way. That'll be good. So we'll just bring it over, down, and go through. So I'll just dig this out, put down the wires, cover it up with some stone, and then I think we'll be good, assuming that I actually have enough wire in the first place. Okay, we have most of the system covered up. We're just going to need some of the more pertinent stuff. I made another fourth boot disk from stuff up there. So let's just put some of these other covers, which will need to have them tidy and basically see that, hey, I am not a complete train wreck. Also, what we're going to need to do is craft the wires from the dies that we'll need for that. But the first thing that we should do is figure out how to get this system going. Actually, the first thing we should do really is to start programming in all of the words required for that. So let's start this up. I think the system will work, so that's good. And let's check on some of the words that we will need the most. We'll need to know how to attach the device. That's one of the things. We'll need to remove all of the blocks from it. And we'll need to be able to just place one block right here, for which we'll be able to have the system just going up and away without, needing to worry about too much of this stuff. Okay, clean up. Okay, we're gonna need to write down what each of them is. So I'll just quickly do that and then make up some code as we go along. Okay, I've got all the words written down, not the words, the numbers written down, so let's try to code in a bit of logic. The first thing that we'll want to do is attach. Attach will be the one that will attach just this system to this conveyor belt. We'll eventually want to be able to lift this other system up, but we'll need to hang on. I think we should do a few things first. Basically we're going to continually write like 16 IOX set, 4 ticks, 16 IOX reset, then wait for a number of ticks. I think we should just bypass the middleman, to use some stupid jargon, and write a test, like a number test or wire. Wire on. Let's just go with wire. So basically this wire word will be when we have a number in front of it, it'll turn on that wire for 4 ticks, then turn it off. It'll be simple. So we'll just have to duplicate the number that we get so we can use it later. IOX set it for that, wait 4 ticks, then because of the duplicated word number, we can IOX reset and wait for 20, not 20 ticks because that can be added later. So now we have wire. So I'll show you what I mean for this. So for attach, I think I spelled it correctly. The thing we're going to need to do is move forward, which is wire 16. I think that's yellow. So 16 wire. And then we'll wait for 20 ticks to make sure that it's in its proper position. Then we'll do 256. Wait, not 256. I changed the wires a bit. Is it 256? What is 256 in the code that I have right now? 256 was my place, but it's actually the wrong color. Let's check our wires. I believe it was purple. So purple is 1024 wire. So we'll turn that wire on. Then I don't think we'll need to wait really. So we'll just go after that and then do 32 wire and wait for 20 ticks so that we can see what is happening afterwards. So currently we have some frames in the system. We have one frame each actually. So let's break this frame and show what happens when we use the word attach. Moves forward, places them, then it moves backward, and now both of the frames are there. So if we've had enough room, we'd be able to move this entire system. But speaking of moving, we don't have any wires connected to those. So that is a bit of an annoyance. Ooh, look, we almost got enough energy. Actually, we got more than enough energy, but going onwards. So we got attached. Now we're going to need to remove. So we're going to need to basically have a word that moves it over twice to the left, moves forwards, breaks, moves back, then moves twice over. So instead of attach, we'll have remove. So remove both of the frames that we have. And since we need to do twice over, what we should do is do a do loop. So 20 do this twice. So we'll have, let's see, left is 64, that's the pink one. So 64 wire, 20 ticks, loop. So that ends the do loop. And then we'll need to move forward. That's still 16. We have it right there. So 16 wire, 20 ticks. So then we'll need to break it. Break is blue. And if we have it correct, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I think we have some of the wires wrong. Wait. Or did I just count wrong? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. Okay, 2048. Good. Whew. I thought I messed up. So 2048. I actually did mess up, but it was my counting that was screwed up. So 2048 wire. That'll break the two frames. Then we'll want to pull back, which is 32 wire. 20 ticks, and then we'll need to go right twice, which is another do loop. So not DPO, do. And it's 512 because we're skipping 2 wires, so it's, yeah, you get it. So 512 wire, 20 ticks, loop, and there we go. So we have those. We have both of those frames done, so you can see them, they're attached. So when we do remove, it should remove both of them. So moved twice over, it'll move forward, it'll break it, and then there we go. Now the problem we have right now is the fact that both of the frames are going in there. There's no way currently with this to, like, there's no way with the current pneumatic tube system, which it is actually pretty good as it is now. There's no way to actually have it go split individually without having some sort of other form of... Anyways, I am kind of going off topic. Blah, 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 blah. We are good. Okay, moving onwards. So we have the placing of 2, and we have the breaking of 2. Now what we need is the placing of 1. Now the problem is that we might have a system where there's a frame that needs to be here. So we can't just move over once, then go forward, place 2 frames, and go back. And with our system right now, we don't have any way to just place one of the deployers, and I'm okay with that. But what we can do is instead go forward, place 2 frames, go over 1, use the break. Since there's not going to be anything right here, it'll actually break these 2 pieces of cobblestone. And what it'll actually do is just break that 1 frame. And then this thing will be attached with 1 frame. It can go up and be merrily ever after, or something similar to that. Anyways, so let's do place 1. I think place 1 is a dainty little word. So 16 wire. That'll move it over. No, it'll move it forward and do 20 ticks. Then what we'll want to do is then place it. So that's 1024 wire. Then it can just move over after this, so no need for any sort of delay. Then what we'll need to do is move it over to the left. That is 64. Yes, I do have a piece of paper with the numbers right next to me. And we'll do a delay. Wait, why am I doing a delay here? So wait for the motors. Yeah, we should wait for the motors to be done anyways, even though we're going to just be breaking it with 2048 wire. Insert joke about a lime wire right here. Go on, I dare ya. So 32 wire, we'll bring it back. Bring it back in this direction, and with another wait time we can then just move it back over to the right, which is 512 wire, 20 ticks, just for fun. End it right there. Okay, let's test this out and see if it works, shall we? Place 1. Actually, let's wait 100 ticks, not 1,000, that'll take a while. 100 ticks, then place 1. That'll be 5 seconds wait, then it'll place them. Okay, let's watch. Place, move over, break, then it's done. Now it can actually move from its location. That's good. Okay, it is working quite well actually. We'll just need some more frames to clog up this system. And we have 1 frame there. So what we should do is just craft the remainder of the frames. No, I will not use NAI. I refuse. I refuse. No, I will not. Okay, let's go onwards and grab the frames that we already have. And at least we'll have a good amount with which we can work with. And we can have like a stack of times. It's funny that we use a stack as a number of measurements. It's kind of funny if you think about it. So stack, a stack, that will be good, that will be jolly. We might actually want a window there, but no matter, we can actually then go with this. So let's remove what we have right now. So remove the singular frame like that. So now the engine is free to do as it pleases. But we need some way to actually raise it from this location. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is having some sort of wire that goes here, and it'll go across and whatnot and downwards. Let's bring it mainly downwards, and it'll go down into here and meet up with the wire that we have here. So basically, I think... let's go with orange. We have enough dye for orange, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces that we'll use. So 8, 9, 10. And I'll just show you what this will do. Don't need to worry about the specifics, but you will see what it does when we finally have this. So it's connecting right here, so it'll go into this frame. So as you see, it's not attached or anything. You might have some way to pretty that up, but for now this seems good. So one wire, one solitary wire, and orange is 2, right? So let's do, let's wait. If I could have seconds, I could probably program a word called seconds, though there's not really any point. So let's just go 100 ticks and do 4, nope, it's 2 wire. Okay, let's see. Sends the pulse. Now the whole thing has raised and it's unattached. Now what will happen is eventually we'll have this thing right here be able to send this entire thing off by attaching the system onto it right there. So now this is all considered one frame, since everything here is a frame. Why, my, ain't that something? Ha ha. Oh, I remember trying to create this in the Feed the Beast map. Not the Feed the Beast map, but anyways, you get the point. I am making a fool of myself yet again, and I seem to never get tired of it. Okay. Moving onwards, let's see. What we'll need to do eventually is to bring the system back down. So we're going to need to get some, I don't want to half-ass it. Let's get some smooth stone covers, and then I'll continue with my tirade. Okay, we got our smooth stone covers here. So what we'll do now is have a different wire going here to be able to lower it down again. Those clever people will realize I'm actually using the engine's own functions. And you'll also notice that this orange wire is not connected at all anymore with this. Therefore, it means that it won't raise it anymore, bringing it out of this structure. So what we'll need is some sort of way to bring the wire down. I want it to be as pretty as possible. And the only way I see that happening is like bringing a wire up into the stratosphere, like hide it in the wall, bring it down, but that's very costly. So what we should do is just half-ass it and bring it over and then bring it down. I think we'll just have it down like which way? This way? This way? No, not that way. That way. So bring the white wire, because we have a lot of white wires. We'll bring the white wire down, across, and through. There's probably some horrible, horrendous pun that we can say right now, though I'm not going to say it. There's no point. Okay, white wire going around, up, and up, and up, and up, and up. And I'll get that in a second. There we go. And then we can cover this up. Why not? Let's try to be as pretty as possible. As I proceed to kill my wall or floor or whatever the heck it's called. Okay. Okay, now we have the white wire connecting, and we will still be able to move this past here. So it still works, so let's try one wire. The one wire to rule them all. And now it's done and attached. So now let's just make some simple words with that. So, move down is going to be the white wire, which is just going to be one wire. One wire. And then we'll have 16 ticks. No, it takes 32 ticks for the entire system to be down. So let's just not half-ass it. And now we'll just move up as the orange wire to wire 32 ticks. And there we go. So let's try toggling. Oh, wait, it's attached. We don't want to forget that. So we'll have to remove it. Move up. Move down just for some toggling. There we go. So systems are working as we have expected. Okay, now the only system yet to work 100% is the fact that we'll need to have these things moving. We'll need those motors also being able to move. You know, kind of would defeat the whole automation purpose if those things didn't move at all. So we'll need new wires to be able to use those. Let's see. Which wire colors have we yet to use? Just gonna go over to my dye chest. Hoping I don't die on the way there. Okay, so we can use magenta and light blue. Those will probably be the easiest, well, they will be the easiest wires that we will use. So over here, and time warp. Little do people know, time warp also does a space warp. So let's move right as magenta and left as light. Wait, this is left and that's right. Okay. Left is this way. Left will be magenta. Right will be light blue. And that's 4 and 8 respectively. Or something like that. Okay. So we'll want to have... Let's be smart about this. We're going to want this to be as automated as possible. So we'll want to be able to select like a position or something to be able to select the item that we'll want to take. So say this is like position 0. We'll go onwards 7 paces for position 1. Then we can do another 7 for position 2. So we'll need a coordinate system. We'll want a variable called location. Location. And this will start as 0. Say this is number 0. Not much of a 0. It's not much of a number, rather. But what we'll want to do is have left add to it. So this is 0. It'll go over 7. Then we'll have our new one. So going left will increment location by 1. And I am getting better at 4th, so I know the plus exclamation mark adds 1 to the current thing. So we'll add 1 of that. And if I remember right, which I don't, it's 4 to go left. Good. I do remember right. So 4 wire, and let's wait. Well, there's going to be a huge load on this system, so let's go with 20, oh no, what should we go with? 30 ticks. Might as well. Okay, and let's do right, and it's pretty much going to be -1 location plus exclamation mark, and it's going to be an 8 wire 30 ticks. And I think that's going to be perfect. So let's test this out. We're going to need to we should might as well make 2 more words. We'll want to be able to remove the engine. So remove the engine from what we are currently having. So we'll have remove engine. Eng. Let's go eng. So that'll be remove. Then we'll want to move the engine up. And then we'll want to attach the frames. Okay, braking. Then it'll move the system up. Then it'll attach the frames. Okay, good. So now what we can do, let's test it out. Left. Haha, it's working. Now, right. And it hasn't destroyed anything, it doesn't look like. Okay, so we are good to go. Now we're going to need to merge the engine also. So let's make a word merge eng. So to merge the engine, we'll need to move it down and then just do a place one, right? Move down, place one, and done. Okay, let's test that, shall we? Merge eng. So it'll move down. It'll place only one. And we're good to go. So, this is gonna be fun. Figured. Good. Oops, that's a problem. Haha. Yeah, I forgot that's not attached. So let's just try a little fun, shall we? Let's just attach it. Then move it to the right. Whew, that's going to take a lot of energy, I can tell you that right now. Now that means what we can do is, no, that won't work because we have that wire down. What we could do is, we could possibly have some sort of arm that goes down to move and go there, but that's a bit of work to be able to just store all of the systems. So let's go left, put 0 as the location again. Let's just remove the engine, because that's all we're gonna need to do. And then I think we're good to go for now. Let's just check how things are going. Okay, unfortunately, it looks like we pretty much used most of our time. So what I think we're going to do is just take a little tour of the improvements I made to my EE energy creation system, or I'm thinking of a better name, but it's really not coming to me. Okay, so what I did was expanded the room a bit, made most of this stuff stone, added a nice little glass mount, and we have a lot of Eternalist fuel right now, as you see right now. Now, as I see right now, now I have 3 condensers here, pretty much giving me all the 3 components that we'll need in this. If I was smart about this, which I am not really, I would have some sort of system that would be able to divide up the Eternalist fuel that I have right now into basically manageable chunks. Not what I was going to say. Basically in the right ratios to be able to craft these. Like, we're going to need 2 of the energy collectors for every single relay and condenser that we go. And as you can see, that'll propagate for pretty much the entire station. There's no place where we'll need extras of any sort, so I think we are good to go. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Wave Time here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.